Afghanistan's acting foreign minister is leading a Taliban delegation that has met with EU representatives in Doha. The EU says that it's still not recognising the Taliban government, but wants to keep communication channels open. Let's go live now to Al Jazeera's Osama bin Javaid, who joins us now live from Doha. What was the mood like around these talks, Osama?
Well, this is not the first time they've met representatives from the European Union. And this was a special representative from the European Union and EU agencies meeting the de facto government in Afghanistan, which calls itself the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. It is an urgent mission on the agenda of the foreign minister, who says that he is in Doha to speak to all sides and talk to them not just about the pressing issues inside Afghanistan, but about the very important issue of Afghan funds, which the United States has decided that it will be using for other purposes than returning to Afghanistan. And that is something that the Afghan government in charge says is illegal. To discuss that and all the other meetings they've been having here in the Qatari capital, Doha, with us is the chief of the political office in Doha and the nominee for the United Nations, Mr. Sohail Shaheen. Thank you very much for joining us. You've been meeting GCC representatives in the last 24 hours. You've also met EU representatives. What are you trying to get out of this, as the EU says that this is not going to be a recognition of the government in charge in Afghanistan?
Afghanistan is under our control. There is no place where we do not have control. We have control all over the country. The people of Afghanistan support us. It was the support of the people of Afghanistan that we fought for 20 years in order to liberate our country. That is the government of the people of Afghanistan. The sanction imposed on the people of Afghanistan by USA and the international community are punishing the people of Afghanistan. The humanitarian crisis created now and the people of Afghanistan are passing through is because of those sanctions.
But there are a lot of demands from various international partners saying that the Afghan authorities are not delivering on promises on human rights, on women's rights, on girls' education, and various aspects of civil liberties of Afghan society. How have you assured them that it is on your agenda and they should believe your words?
These are only claims. See, the other day, the Minister of Higher Education, who is also here, in Doha, and he participated in the meeting today, he announced that public universities and private universities, they are all open for male and female students. He told me the other day that he have about 120,000 administrative female workers, lecturers, professors, and female students all over Afghanistan. These are the realities, but the world doesn't know about this.
But what about the journalists who are being picked up? We saw a humanitarian worker with the UNHCR being picked up. Some rights activists were abducted who have been released. So is this situation really under the control of the government? And are you delivering on these promises of equal rights for every Afghan?
If you do not have passport and visas here, where I am standing in Doha, the police has right to ask me. So this is the case. There are some legal cases there, and so they are detained for that, and there is some suspicion, and they are released when they provide the proof.
Let's talk about these meetings that you're having. As far as we know, that the most important point on your agenda is the release of funds that are being held in various European capitals and the United States. Have you been given any assurances? Is there going to be a reversal of the decision? Are you pressing on GCC countries, including Qatar, to talk to the United States, or are you going to be talking to the US directly?
We are talking to all countries. We want the reversal of this decision. These money are the property of the people of Afghanistan. It is the reserve of the Afghanistan Bank. The Afghanistan Bank uses this reserve for trade, for its monetary policy, and also for keeping the Afghan currency stable. Otherwise, it could not do that. So that would lead to hitting the people, punishing the people of Afghanistan, if that happens.
And finally, the humanitarian situation in Afghanistan, as we've seen, has been deteriorating for the last few months. It is pretty bad. People have not been paid. There is dire poverty on the streets in various areas of Afghanistan. What is the current government doing to alleviate the suffering of the Afghan people? And what assurances have you been given by the international community?
We have given salaries to employees of different ministries for the past months. And that has been done from our internal revenues. Though it has made it for us difficult, the sanction which has been imposed by the international community on the people of Afghanistan and Afghanistan. But we are doing what we can for our people. And we are talking to all sides, to all countries, that it is injustice. The sanctions hitting the people of Afghanistan. And, our businessmen are not able to send their money for many commercial purposes. There is no inflow and outflow of money which is needed for keeping the value of the currency, Afghan currency, stable. So this is the demand of the people of Afghanistan, that these sanctions should be removed.
Thank you, Mr. Shaheen. That was Sohail Shaheen, the man in charge of the political office here in the Qatari capital, Doha, and the nominee for the United Nations from the de facto government in Afghanistan. They are going to be continuing these meetings. It is an array of meetings. It's a high-level delegation which is going to be meeting people from the Qatari side about the airport in Kabul to resume chartered flights from there. There's also going to be discussions about humanitarian aid and there's some sort of resolution to the political status of the current government in Afghanistan, which the Taliban wanted to be removed, the sanctions to be lifted, and them to be recognized by the international community, including those European leaders who've met the Taliban today, saying that this is not a recognition of the government, but merely an opening of a door where the people who are in charge of Afghanistan should be dealt with, should be negotiated with, and some sort of solution needs to be found for the millions of people in Afghanistan suffering from the current political and economic situation.
Al Jazeera's Osama bin Javaid reporting live there from Doha. Many thanks, Osama.